up with that process through late January. That is according to a government document reviewed by Reuters. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman James Walkinshaw of Virginia. He sits on the Oversight Committee, which is spearheading the investigations into the Epstein files. Congressman, it's great to have you back on the show. Thank you for making time for us. So the law required all of these documents to be released last month. It clearly was not. We're way past that. What is the plan now to get the White House and the Justice Department to comply or potentially face some form of accountability?
Well, as of today, best we can tell, we have maybe 5% of the total documents that should have been produced and released publicly. So the Trump administration, the Department of Justice, is blatantly violating the law and engaging in, I don't know another word for it, it's a cover-up. It's a cover-up of the Epstein files. In addition to the 95% that we don't have, there's some very specific documents that we know exist that haven't been released. We know there are 10 co-conspirators. Who are those 10 co-conspirators? Where are the survivors' statements, the statements they made to the FBI where, as they have said, they outlined a number of the men who were involved in this abuse? So on and on and on, there are critical documents missing. I think when Congress returns this week, there are a number of avenues. There's been reporting that Congressman Khanna and Massey are pursuing a legal avenue in the Southern District of New York. I think if we don't see compliance with the law this week, you will have more conversations around inherent contempt and fines for the Attorney General or potentially impeachment for the Attorney General. And I think you'll see bipartisan support. Republicans increasingly are hearing from their own constituents that the law needs to be followed and we need full transparency.
Congressman, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, because the last few days have felt like a year, but wasn't this weekend the statutory deadline for the DOJ to explain its redactions in those files?
That's right. That's right. The Transparency Act requires an explanation of the redaction. To date, they haven't provided, certainly in my view, sufficient explanation for the redactions. They've made some public statements explaining some of them, but I don't believe they're in compliance with that aspect of the law either.
Let me ask you about the recent Wall Street Journal reporting. I'm sure you've seen it, about young female spa employees being sent from Mar-a-Lago to Epstein's nearby mansion for massages, according to both former Mar-a-Lago and Epstein employees. Give me a sense of how the Oversight Committee is utilizing this new reporting to advance its investigation, if at all.
Well, look, I think this is a really critical piece of information, and I and others have been asking questions for months about Jeffrey Epstein, Mar-a-Lago, and Trump, because Trump's public statements over the years don't add up. He claims that he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. We now know that probably wasn't the case. According to that Wall Street Journal reporting, Epstein was denied the at-home spa privileges after soliciting an 18-year-old woman who was sent to his home, not kicked out of Mar-a-Lago per se. We know that Virginia Giuffre, who was underage at the time, was recruited, trafficked, one might say, from Mar-a-Lago. And I'll just say, I find it very hard to believe that through the length and breadth of their relationship, Donald Trump didn't know that Jeffrey Epstein was violating the laws and abusing young girls. I just find it very hard to believe, and I think Mar-a-Lago is a key piece of that.
Congressman James Walkinshaw, thanks for coming on and spelling out all of what remains to be understood here. I think the public is confused how we got from the point where the DOJ was telling us an exhaustive review was done to there's 1 million more files to there's 5.2 million more files. We have a lot of questions, and I know we'll be asking for you to come back on the show soon. So thank you.
Thank you.
We've got breaking news after the break. Top Trump administration officials just scheduled a briefing on Venezuela for tomorrow for top lawmakers. We're going to talk to House Foreign Affairs